Millions of people visit New York City each year. This city is monumental, artistic, cultural, commercial, and cosmopolitan all at the same time. Even if New York City's soaring skyscrapers and monuments do not captivate you, its thriving arts, food, fashion, and nightlife scenes will. For art lovers, go to the Met, the Guggenheim, or the Frick Collection before feasting on unique cuisine in Chinatown or Little Italy. If you still have some energy, don't miss out on seeing an award-winning Broadway show. To get you started, we've compiled a list of impressive highlights that would make fantastic experiences on your next trip. This 265-acre sanctuary for over 10,000 animals, according to visitors, should be on the itinerary of everyone visiting New York. If you're looking for a more leisurely visit, the Bronx Zoo could be a great way to get away from the non-stop activity of Manhattan. The zoo, which opened in 1899, is also home to several famous landmarks, including the Rainey Memorial Gates, the Rockefeller Fountain, and the historic Zoo Center, which was designed to resemble a palace. Popular zoo exhibits include white-cheeked gibbons, gharials, tapirs, fruit bats, and others. Rhinos, tigers, and red pandas are among the animals roaming freely in the outdoor habitat. Must-see attractions include the Congo Gorilla Forest, the Seasonal Butterfly Garden, Tiger Mountain, and the Children's Zoo. Grand Central Station is one of New York City's most extraordinary public spaces. This historic and world-famous Midtown Manhattan landmark is more than just a transportation hub, it's also a shopping, dining, and cultural destination all under one magnificent roof. This iconic Midtown landmark, which first opened to the public in 1913, is well known worldwide. It has a long history of enormous wealth and incredible engineering. With approximately 750,000 visitors per day, Grand Central is one of the busiest train stations in the world. One of the highlights of your Grand Central tour is the $20 million opal-faced clock. The Brooklyn Bridge, one of the city's many iconic landmarks, is also one of the country's oldest suspension bridges and a National Historic Landmark. It was the longest suspension bridge in the world when it opened in 1883. Its 6 lanes, along with one pedestrian and bicycle walkway, span the East River, linking Manhattan to Brooklyn. Some visitors choose to bypass the bridge in favor of other attractions, but if you're on a budget, this is one of the best free ways to experience the city and get a unique view of either borough. Several of New York's best walking tours include stops at the bridge. Ella Fitzgerald pined for her lover, the Rolling Stones couldn't get no satisfaction, and Lady Gaga experienced a bad romance here. Radio City Music Hall is New York's best concert venue. It is not only the largest indoor theater in the world, but its marquee spans an entire city block. New York City's landmark theater first opened its doors in 1932. The theater now hosts musical acts such as Ben Platt and Lil Nas X, as well as comedians such as Chris Rock. Radio City Music Hall is located in Midtown Manhattan at 50th Street and 6th Avenue. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is one of the most famous museums in the United States. The Met, as it is often called, is an art experience unlike any other, brimming with masterpieces from all over the world, including notable collections from ancient Egypt, as well as Greek, Roman, and Islamic times. Since its inception in 1870, the Met has aspired to be more than just a repository of rare and beautiful objects. Every day, art comes to life in the museum's galleries, exhibitions, and events, revealing new ideas and surprising connections across time and cultures. Visitors adore the Met, describing the facilities and artwork as world-class. Like much of New York, seeing everything the museum has to offer in one day is impossible. One World Trade Center, formerly known as Freedom Tower, is the main structure of the rebuilt World Trade Center complex in Lower Manhattan. This observatory is perched atop the Western Hemisphere's tallest building. It is located right next to the 9/11 Memorial. The three-level observatory, which measures more than 125,000 square feet, is located on the 100th, 101st, and 102nd floors of this office skyscraper. On clear days, visitors to the observation deck can see up to 45 miles in all directions. Visitors are transported to the observatory via skypods, or direct express elevators. Recent visitors praised the spectacular views and said that, thanks to improved technology, visiting the observatory was a surreal experience. New York City is not for the faint of heart, as evidenced by the city's towering skyscrapers and famous buildings. The Rockefeller Center, Guggenheim Museum, the Plaza, Ellis Island National Immigration Museum, and the New York Public Library should all be on everyone's must-see list. Madison Square Garden is synonymous with hosting some of the biggest icons in music, comedy, and even two popes, but it is in sports that MSG truly shines. The Chrysler Building is frequently regarded as the most interesting and famous structure in New York City, owing to its intriguing Art Deco architecture. For 40 years, the Empire State Building was the tallest building in the world, reaching dizzying heights of 1,454 feet. With an area of 840 acres, Central Park is Manhattan's largest and most important public park. It was one of the first parks in America to utilize landscape architecture techniques. The park, which opened in 1876, has an assortment of attributes including the Metropolitan Museum of Art, a zoo, an ice rink, 3 small lakes, an open-air theater, a band shell, many athletic playing fields and children's playgrounds, several fountains, and hundreds of small monuments and plaques. There are numerous footpaths and bicycle paths throughout the park, as well as several roadways that run through it. Enjoy free events and concerts such as Summer Stage and Shakespeare in the park, as well as activities such as bike rentals, picnics, and yoga classes. Times Square, which is lined with massive, brightly lit billboards and screens, is the place to be in New York at night, but it is also exciting during the day. This is where New York's New Year's Eve celebrations, as well as the famous ball drop at midnight, take place, with the square and surrounding streets packed with people. In 1904, Times Square was named after the New York Times Tower. It is one of the world's busiest pedestrian areas, as well as the heart of the Broadway Theater District. On a daily basis, approximately 330,000 people, many of whom are tourists, pass through Times Square, and on busiest days, over 460,000 pedestrians walk through the area. The Statue of Liberty is ranked first on our list. This brightly shining beacon attracts visitors all year. The most popular way to get to the statue is to take the ferry from Battery Park to Liberty Island, where the statue is located. Travelers can also visit the statue's crown as part of their adventure. You'll be rewarded with panoramic views of the city after climbing 162 stairs from the pedestal. The statue was received as a gift from France commemorating the friendship of the peoples of the United States and France. It stands 305 feet tall, including its pedestal, and depicts a woman holding a torch in her raised right hand and a tablet bearing the Declaration of Independence in her left. The site was added to UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1984. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button and check out more of our videos.